Okay, welcome to Ask a Trainer Puppy Show number...
Let's say that again.
What?
Let's say that again. Ask a Trainer Puppy Show?
I was close. I just had two words mixed. Ask a Puppy Trainer Show episode... You didn't give me an episode.
I don't have it. 124.
124. All right, we're in it. And Ricky has me have some special stuff I got to go over. So my name's Sparky. It's been a while, so anyone new coming in, my name is Sparky. My partner's Bethany. She just had a baby, so she'll be joining us, honestly, probably the next couple months. She's been off for a few months already. And we have a few special announcements. We have no AAPTS. Oh, Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. I get it. Now I know what that means. I gotcha. For next week, I'm getting married. October 22nd, this Sunday, I'm getting married, and I'll be on my honeymoon next week. So, yeah. We'll be out of town for a bit. And you guys will not have Bethany either, but she will start joining us in the next few months or so, or next few weeks or so. And this is a question to remind people how to submit question. You can do it in our Instagram DMs. You can do it through TikTok. We have a ton of people doing it through TikTok. We love that. And also, you can do it even through our YouTube. We look at all the comments for all our different videos. We try to pull questions from as many different sources that we put out, so you guys always have different options on how to do it. And anytime you submit that question, age and breed. That helps us tremendously, because at least I know with a German Shepherd, it's going to be different from me talking about questions from a Yorkie. 6 months compared to a 3 month, 4 months compared to an 8 month, completely different answers for completely different dog experiences. And that's it. All right, let's get to it. Bear, you seem very stressed out. Well, we're gonna help settle you down a little bit. All right, this is from Megan Smith. This is about biting, and I have a lot of different topics I'm gonna try to hit today. So they say to walk away or stop playing if your puppy starts biting. But what do you do if he follows you and bites you while you're walking away? Ankle biter, butt biter. Yeah. Walking away is not what you should do, because you're not actually settling the issue. You're not tackling the issue. You're not dealing with it. You're putting a Band-Aid on it, and it sounds like it's a Band-Aid that bites you in the ass when you walk away. So what I do when I have a dog biting is I address it. Yeah, Kimberly, he's done. He's been here for 10 minutes. He's had enough of me. See you, Bear. Dude. So what I do when I get a dog biting is, one, we should always have a leash on our dog. How do we address biting if we have no leverage, we have no control? Because one, you have a couple options. You could do like a little body block, which is they're jumping and nipping at you. Your hands come in front of you. I'll turn so you can kind of see my side profile. What I'm doing is I have a boundary, and I need to decide what my bubble is. If my bubble is this, that's where my hands start. When my puppy crosses that boundary, it's a firm no. Pause. We are not striking, hitting, or pushing the dog. Firm, neutral, calm body language. No. Pause. They're going to come back for a few more. They always do. No. Off. No. And eventually you're going to get them to back off. They're going to do this. They're going to and have a little bit of frustration. It's in that moment that you want to grab a toy, put that toy in their mouth, and try to re-engage the toy, or re-engage the play with the toy. You can also redirect your focus and redirect their focus to place, to come, to sit, the down. You can turn it into a controlled play session with the toy. You can turn it into a controlled training session with the leash and the place and the come and the down, sit, and all that stuff. Anything you do, though, you got to just make sure you're calm and neutral. If you get mad, if you get angry, you're putting in emotion. Emotion garners emotion. Whatever you put in gets multiplied by 1,000. That's my whole body language changed. Calm, neutral, boring. Why would my dog ever want to bite me? I'm too boring to bite. And eventually you start disengaging, and they break away sooner and sooner every time. If you have an intense dog, it sounds like you might. This is kind of one of my final straw ones. It's what we call strike 2 of our 3 strike rule. Strike 2 is a simple pick up the leash, create some upward out pressure, so you're kind of forcing your dog away from you, and just pause and hold this. Usually for about 5 to 8 seconds, they're going to move around, fuss, and eventually just limp dog. That's not because you're choking them out. You're not causing that amount of force and that amount of pressure. You're only lifting up enough to where they kind of move their front feet off the ground by about 1/4 inch, and it allows them to go from this forward motion to more of a neutral standing of sitting back, relaxing, and when they settle, you slowly release that pressure. They're going to come back again, almost guaranteed. They come back for more bites. Nope. Settle down. Good. Slowly release that arm. So it's your body language. It's your leash pressure, it's your tone, your demeanor, and your redirection. It all plays a role. It all comes together. Another big one is do not ever play with hands. If you got that grandparent, if you got the sibling, you got the friend who plays with their hands, or even if you got the spouse that plays with their hands, tell them to stop it. They're making your job harder. Hand play leads to biting. It promotes it. It teaches them to do it. Pull away from it. Oh, this is a good one. This is from Farah. This is a not coming out of the crate problem. So my new puppy doesn't want to come out of his crate. I want to keep it his safe place, but I have to take him out to potty and he runs back in. How do I make him feel safe outside of it? Well, honestly, it's probably just a really strong comfort zone. I don't even necessarily think he doesn't feel safe out of it. I don't know your puppy well enough. I also don't have an age. Age really helps us too. Anyone, give me questions. Give me an age, please. And Farrah, if you're on, send me your age now. It will help me give you a better answer. But I'm still going to answer. If he doesn't want to come out of the crate, I want you to put on his harness and his leash inside of the crate. I want you to create a tension to bring him out. This is my arm loose, full slack. This is tension, and I want to do a gradual progression of tension. You're going to get to a point to where he is full-blown what we call drag dog or anchor dog. Means they kind of just put their arms out and they don't want to come out. Slowly increase that pressure, and the minute he voluntarily walks out of that crate, good boy, yay! You can reward him, you can make it a positive experience, and then close that door instantly so he can't run back in. And then try to use a little bit of food to lure him the rest of the way. You can get him moving, you can use food, you can even drop a few pieces on the ground just to kind of get him in forward momentum movement. And once he's doing that, you just keep on walking. Another thing you can do is don't just teach crate as a place he goes into. You teach crate as command. That's a big one for us, and that's what we've been doing in our little online promotion for our harness school. Or for our harness program for the online school, which is a really big one for us, which is teaching them to go in the house and come out for food. Go in the house, come out for food. I got a dog that goes in and just wants to anchor and lay down, who doesn't want to come out. I don't reward him for going in. I reward him for the break and coming out of it. House, the minute he gets all 4 feet in. Break, start increasing that leash pressure, bringing him out for food if he even wants to take it. Do that over and over again, and eventually then he'll kind of go the opposite way. He'll want to come out more than stay in, and you balance it. Then you kind of do like 5 in, 3 out. 3 out, 5 in. You play with it until you have that fine balance of him wanting to go in, come out, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, this is from Nyliana. My multiple puppy is almost 7 months old. Breed, age, love it, thank you. I have him on a routine, but he's still having accidents 1-2 times a week. He's in the playpen 8 to 12 hours a day and the crate at night. He doesn't whine anymore about going in the crate at night or the playpen during the day. Should I be crating him more than using the playpen? Is he on the right track? He's not on the right track. Yes, you answered your own question. You should be crating him more than playpen. To give you an idea, and you can DM us, we'll send you a skeleton for a schedule so you can kind of input what your life looks like throughout the day. We'll try to find something that works for you. But the ideal schedule for crate is they go in the crate for about an hour to 3. Young puppies under 4 months old, hour and a half max. Unless they're already holding it longer, which you can go more. If they're 4 to 6 months old, I'm usually doing hour and a half to 3 hours. Over 6 months, you can get between 3 to 4 hours, and that means also you up your amount of free time. But if you have an older pup who hasn't been on a good schedule yet, and they're still having accidents, then you should start with probably 2 hours in the crate, 30 minutes to 1 hour out of the crate. What that schedule looks like, though, is they're in the crate right when they come out of the crate. I'm going to put a lot of detail in this part because you're having accidents, and this is what focuses on that. Right when they come out of the crate, the first thing I do to any dog coming out, harness, leash. Right away. Walk them outside to the potty area. Do not let them off leash. Do not let them drag it. Do not let them follow you with that one. They have to be on leash. This is how you set the tone, and you teach potty on command. Bladder control. That's all big for us. Take him outside, put him in his potty spot. Wait there, standing like a tree for 2 to 3 minutes. He can go left, hit the end of the leash, come back. Right, hit the end, forward, hit the end, back, hit the end. And eventually, most time what they do is they keep hitting the end of the leash. They get confused, and they eventually just go potty, or they sit there. If he sits there and doesn't go potty, then I want you to bring him back inside. Put him in the crate for 10 to 15 minutes or 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how long he can hold his bladder for. After that 15 to 30 minutes, then take him back outside to the same exact spot, loose leash, in the leash, just let him hit the end and come back. Most of the time, 2 or 3 times doing that, he will eventually go potty for you. And this is how you're teaching that potty on command. That's a huge one for us, the potty on command. Once he successfully goes potty, good boy, good potty, boy. Oh, yeah, boy. Tell him good boy, good potty, and then bring him in. When we give free time is still on leash, still on harness, until you have 0 potty accidents, 0 counter surfing, 0 issues, okay, maybe like 2% issues. That's when you're ready to start moving away from that harness and leash setup of him always wearing it, being held, or having him drag it. Because when you bring him in, you're going to break free time up into 3 parts. Part 1, walk and or play, about 10 minutes. Training, about 10 minutes. Supervised separation, about 10 minutes. That is when he goes into the playpen. It's only for 10 minutes though. No look, no talk, no touch. This is his time to exist on his own in that playpen for that supervised separation. Because during supervised separation, we're teaching him how to be confident, independent, and learn the ability to, you ready for it? Self-soothe. And the reason we don't give him any attention is because this is how we prevent separation anxiety from forming, is giving him a space where he no longer has access to us. He's on his own, he's hanging out, he's relaxing. It also helps with your daytime crating. The walk and play gets out the big energy. The training uses the mental energy. The supervised separation allows them to settle and relax in the playpen before then picking him up, transitioning him to the crate. We can also give water during this time, half cup of water per 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. Let me say that again. Half cup of water per 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. No, I'm not going to transition that to liters because you can do it on your own. Google it. I hate liters. Half cup of water per 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. Try it out. And then he goes back in the crate, starts over. Every time he comes out, rinse and repeat.
You want to answer a live question?
Yeah, what you got? We have a live question from Amy. Best practice for crating new puppy when we have a 3-year-old that doesn't crate. Exactly what I just said. Follow to the T what I just said. 3. I don't know how young the puppy is. I kind of gave you more of a broad schedule for what you do for different ages of puppies. So just follow what I just mentioned. You also have the replay to check it out on. But yeah, get them on a good structure schedule. It doesn't matter if the 3-year-old's being crated or not. Just move your crate to a completely separate part of the house from where your 3-year-old is. And your 3-year-old should not have access. 8 weeks. Woo! 8 weeks. Wow. All right. Re-listen to the replay to get the actual schedule I just mentioned because it was about 10 minutes of talking and we don't really have time to go over it again. But I will change the times. I'll give you that. 8 weeks, the puppy's being crated for 1 hour. The puppy has free time for 15 to 30 minutes. That's about all they can really handle. You probably get up to 30 minutes, but if they're prone to having a lot of accidents, then go back and maybe cut it down to like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something around there. Definitely watch replay though. I just did a 10-minute schedule on exactly what you need to do, breaking every inch of it down. That's a good question. 8 weeks old, that's a young puppy. You're definitely going to have to change up the amount of time they spend in free time and crate time. This is a potty training question. This is from Sony Escalante. I love it. Hi, my puppy is 3 months old, pure breed Husky. Ooh, good luck. He is potty trained, but whenever we leave the... He is potty trained, but whenever we leave the house... All right, I'm going to just read it verbatim, and maybe if you're on, you can kind of clear it up for me. He is potty trained, but whenever we leave the house. He has 3 accidents while we've been gone. Does this have anything to do with stress from being alone? Is he crate trained? Potty trained is one thing, but that's nothing compared to crate training. Potty training means that they won't pee when you're home and usually when they have full access to being outside and being able to go outside. But most dogs will not let themselves outside when we're gone. Most dogs won't even let themselves outside when we're home. They'll pee 2 inches in front of your foot when the back door is wide open. They've gone out multiple times before. That's not actually potty training. That's just more of them exploring and trying to figure it out. Potty training is structure training, is crate training, is them knowing how to hold it for 2 to 3 hours and then go on command. 2 to 3 hours, go on command. So everything I've already mentioned with that previous structure schedule, you got to get on that structure schedule. And if you're leaving, does it say how long you guys leave for? I don't see how long you guys are gone. If you're gone a lot and you're gone for a long time, you got to do kind of a double setup. You got to do a crate playpen setup to where you have the playpen set up, the crate within the playpen. You got a potty pad on the left, bowl of water on one side, and then couple toys on the other, and on the back side of that playpen is your crate. That's the situation I try out. That should help you out a little bit. Let me see if there's any more parts to it. I mean, it probably is stress as well, but if your puppy has free access to water while you're gone, you got to give him an area that's confined that he can't get out of, that has his like water bowl setup. He can't drag a leash around, and you can't tether it to anything, because if he jumps over that playpen, can't have that. And next part of the same question. Same person, different part of the question though. Hi, my puppy tends to nip a lot. We've tried so many things to get him to stop. I feel it may be his young age and playful nature. He doesn't nip anyone but me and my wife. I want you to follow what I wrote, what I said for that very first question I went over, which was the biting from Megan. But I want you to add something to it, because you said he only bites me and my wife. Let me ask you guys this. How permissive are you? Is he high energy, really excited, playful, and I'm petting him during all that? Because that's going to lead to the biting. Am I playing with him? He's getting super amped up. He's running back and forth in the room, coming, trying to grab the toy, but biting my hand most of the time. Play is done when that happens. Just end it. You got that leash on that we already mentioned. Pressure up, settle him down, body block. You got a lot of different options. I went into more detail in the very first question. But what you pet is what you get. If you pet a high energy dog, you're asking for nipping and biting and jumping. If you play with a high energy dog who's starting to miss the toy half the time, you're rewarding it by still continuing it. End it. It's done. Play is done. It was probably done 5 minutes ago. Most dogs cannot play more than 5 to 8 minutes. More than that, they tend to get more nippy, jumpy, pulley, bitey, just crazy in general. So find the limit of your dog's play. Start with it right when they come out of the crate. Then do training and calm them down. Then supervise separation to help their brain settle. And then pop them back in the crate for a couple hours to help them rest, relax, and go to sleep. This one is from AB Puppy. Okay. Hi, hoping you can help me with a question. I have three older misbehaved dogs. We just got a new puppy who I'm trying to specifically train. Should we try to retrain the older dogs at the same time, or just letting them pick up on the good habits of the puppy? They will not pick up the good habits of the puppy. Your puppy will pick up the bad habits of the older dogs. That's always what happens. Unless you completely segregate them to two different sides of the house, 1,000%, that is the only possible way. So if you want your puppy to keep these good behaviors, you should train your puppy completely separate from the older dogs and teach your three older dogs some of the behaviors that you want the puppy to learn. But if you're walking all four of them together, your puppy is going to do exactly what your older is going to do within the next 8 weeks. Guaranteed. So it's a difficult situation. Honestly, I would have someone brand new, fresh come in your house, a dog trainer, do like 2 or 3 private sessions, and most private trainers can do 2 of the older dogs, and then you take the third one, and then you guys kind of switch off and do that, and then they can kind of teach you new behaviors and set up boundaries in the home. But I'll tell you right now, you are not going to like it. It's a complete flip from what you're probably doing now, and it's going to be tough. I want you to mentally prep yourself for hating this trainer who's about to come in your home and change every aspect of your life, your partner's life, and the life of your current dogs that you've had for multiple years. So just be ready for that. And if you want to do it, I think it'd benefit you tremendously. Do you have a question from TikTok or Instagram? Is that the first part of it, or is there another part? All right, this is from Chris Burns. Eskipoo, 9.5 months old. I work from home, so I'm almost always here. Is it too late to crate train? He is fully potty trained? Absolutely not. You can always crate train. And to add, he is a howler when I leave for short periods of time. I leave him with a stuffed Kong or a bone. That's excellent. That's no problem. He's going to do that same thing. Did I lose my mic? Kind of lost the mic. Sorry, guys. A little fat rolls pulled it in. All right. So when I lost my train of thought, why would I even say that? That was like no filter. Kimberly's dying right now.
Pre-wedding jitters.
Pre-wedding jitters. Oh, I have no jitters. I don't even know what that is. You have to have shame to have jitters. I have no shame. All right. To add, he's a howler. I leave him when he's stuffed Kong or bone. So he is going to bark. He is going to howl. He is going to lose it in the crate. I'll prep you now so you can prep yourself for when you're working. I don't know if you're in an apartment, a house, if you have multiple stories, but that crate needs to be as far as humanly possible from your office. Otherwise, you are not working from home. It's going to be tough. If you have an older dog, that means he's kind of lived his life without the crate. Potty training is nothing though, because without crate, it's the structure you give him to help him settle, rest, and relax for longer periods of time. And you're probably going to revert on some of that potty schedule or that potty training as well. Everything I've mentioned, I think I've mentioned it once or twice already, but I gave that full breakdown in the very beginning of the live of exactly what to do. We will post the replay for you guys to be able to watch it. I think we post on Instagram and TikTok. Oh, also YouTube. So you'll have 3 different places you can find it. But check those out. That is your way of acclimating them to it. One step I'll add is anyone that has a more verbal dog, or you just want to make sure they don't ever get to that point, cover the crate on 3 sides with a towel. Front, both sides, fan blowing towards the back, creating some indirect airflow, circulating air in that crate. Put on a white noise machine to drown out all the outside noise. Put on a music machine. There's something like little sound cube things that you can get on Amazon. They're like 10, 12 bucks. And they have multiple little microchips you can put in there, like SD cards, that have different playlists. And it's just acoustic music. Super simple, super basic. Dogs love them, and it helps them go to sleep a lot sooner and a lot quicker. And I know I'm over, but I think we started 10 minutes late, so I'm going to keep going. I have to play the white noise and the soundtrack at the same time. Yes, white noise machine and the soundtrack same exact time. I tend to put the white noise machine up on a counter kind of closer to the door or where he's more likely to hear sounds because it drowns out that sound. And then I put the music machine right next to the crate, either on top of it or slightly to the side of it. And that's what creates the music for his brain to tune into. Wow, we do have a lot of questions. Wow. I'm going to answer this one just because it's one of our previous clients. Okay. This is from Albie. Oh, Albie. We love Albie. All right, an alumni here. We miss the Puppy Academy so much. We miss you too, Albie. You're awesome. Albie is doing great for the most part because he did recently begin chewing sandals. What can I do to stop the habit from developing? Preventative, not reactive. He's biting sandals. You're not correcting him for it. You're preventing it, and you're eliminating sandals. You can also train him around sandals. So our younger pups, and again, Albie's older, so I got to give 2 versions. I'm going to give the younger version and the older version. A younger dog, you are required to puppy proof. Your dog should always have a leash on. If he's getting access to sandals, that's not his fault. It's yours. I'm not talking to you, Albie. This is for anyone with a younger puppy who is not puppy proofing. Now let's get to Albie. Go back to some of your basics. He drags a leash around the house again. You specifically train him around sandals. You put them on the ground. He walks up. He looks at the sandal. Little leash tug, no. Direct him away. Just redirect him. He goes for the sandal. Body block. Step in. Back him off from it. And if you really just want to be a little bit more relaxed about it, spray that sandal with some bitter apple. Let him have 5 different sandals at 5 different points. Spray some bitter apple. That's a crutch. That is not training. That is a crutch. But it may or may not work. It may be a really simple solution. It may not. Try it out if you want. But the guaranteed surefire way is to train him and work him around the sandal. He looks at the sandal. I'll become, place, sit down, good, and eventual food. He goes for the sandal. No, come, place, sit down, good, and eventual food. You're teaching him to disengage from it so it doesn't become the center of his world. Try it out. Let's know how it works. All right, give me one from over there. These are all a little bit heavier questions now.
2 that came in. One was they're getting a puppy and they want to know what they should do first. And then we have a puppy who's excited to see people. How can
All right, I'm getting a puppy on Friday. What should I do first? You should go to thepuppyacademy.com and sign up for our online school. Because literally, I can give you advice now, but I'm not doing you justice. I'm not doing you any service by doing it this way. I literally have thousands upon thousands of resources, okay? Dozens upon dozens of resources on the online school. And every week, I actually do a full-blown hour session that has anywhere between 7 or 10 people in it. Some weeks it's like 14 to 18. Some weeks we have none. But I literally dedicate a whole hour to just answering questions about new puppies, about issues, about troubleshooting, about nuances of puppies and what they're doing. That is the best piece of advice I can give you. If you don't want to follow that advice, puppy proof. Puppy proof, get yourself a crate, set up your whole home. And by the way, I teach you how to do that all in the online school. That is your best resource. But otherwise, puppy proof. That's the best way. You want a puppy proof, have a crate, and you want to basically start training your puppy from day 1 coming into the home, learning their name, Coming when called, name recognition. That's your first goal. Let me answer one from over here, then we'll get back over there. French Bulldog siblings, brother and sister. Oh, you're in trouble. Woo! And they're Frenchies. Oh, Lord. All right, you got this. Obsessed with chewing the legs of our dining chairs. How do you get them to stop? Put them on a leash, prevent access. Easy one. Keep going. Scroll down. You're giving too much freedom for the Frenchies, guys. They need to always be on leash. They should either be on a leash tied to you, dragging the leash with a confined space, and they should never have access to the things that they're chewing. Puppy proofing is your very first thing we always do, because puppy proofing helps your puppy understand what they're supposed to do. If they have access to the area that they're getting into, they're basically being promoted to do it. We aren't setting them up for success if they have access to it. It's better to set them up for success through preventive rather than reactive. Reactive correction is what you can do with an older dog, 8 months or older. A younger dog, a young puppy, you're preventive. That way you're not constantly, no, correction. It's more about prevention. Anything else? No? All right, I'm doing another one of these guys. I'm feeling hyped. We got some energy today. I love it. All right. Bully behavior. Oh, I like it. This is a good one. I want everyone to listen to this because this is super important. This is what happens a lot when dogs hit about 5-6 months old and they develop their personality and they hit maturity. 4 to 6 months is your first stage of adolescence. Next is 8 to 10. Final is 12 to 16 months. So you have a couple of them that you go through. I have a 6-month-old yellow lab who has shown some bullying behaviors to some other young dogs. Body checking, standing over, chasing and barking. The chasing and barking really surprised me. I've never seen that before. Does she just need more monitored socialization? Any tips or advice would be well appreciated. Yeah, you pretty much answered. They do need more monitoring, but not every dog is compatible to play with another dog. I have people that are like, yeah, I got a neighbor dog and I really want my dog to play. Well, what's your dog do when they play with him? She jumps on him, barks in his face, and just lays on top of him. What's the other dog do? Nothing. They're not compatible. You got to have similar play styles, similar energy styles. So if I have a really submissive dog and a really energetic, like hyper dog, you could even maybe call them dominant, depending on that temperament. They're not going to match because one's going to always be submitting, one's always going to be dominating. One that teaches the scared dog to be more afraid and eventually lash out, and it develops aggression, reactivity aggression. And it teaches your older dog that they're a lot stronger and they can always dominate. And adversely, it could also teach them to become reactive and more dominant. And when they get pushed back by a dominant dog as well, they're more likely to snap and react at them. The best style of play is when you find dogs with a similar energy level, similar play style. If your dog throws a lot of paws, you need to find another dog that throws a lot of paws. If your dog is more about jumping up, you got to find another dog that's durable, that can take the jumping and is able to shake it off and do some jumping of his own. There has to be this back and forth. I want you to pretend like it's the wave of the ocean hitting the shore and receding. This is your dog playing, backing off, and the other dog being able to play, backing off. It's like two opposing waves, one after the other, and there's always a balance, back and forth, back and forth. That is what you need. You need to find a dog with a similar play style, energy level, temperament, and you got to teach your dog how to back off. What you mentioned of being able to kind of monitor that play, I don't just monitor, guys. I step between. I don't stand still when dogs are playing. I don't stand on the outskirts waiting for the escalation. I am watching the play, kind of moving around the group, and then when I start seeing like one dog be on top of the other for a couple seconds, I'm just walking through them. Because what that does is it kind of creates this wedge that gets them to back off. If I got one dog that's more dominant, I'll walk through them, turn to the dominant dog, and back them off. Step into them. Hey, back up, back up, back up. Sit, good. Break. And I'll be more neutral. I got to be more firm, though. I got to get that dad, that mom voice coming in to get them to back off. Hey, back up, back up. Sit. Good. Pause. Let them take a breath. Break, and let them re-engage if they can. Are we out? No. Okay, fine. All right, they told me I got to end it. Sorry, guys. All right, thank you guys for joining. I will not see you next week. We will not be having it next week, so just as a reminder, because I'm getting married on Sunday, and I will be on my honeymoon. So goodbye. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. You guys have a wonderful week, and now let's do our awkward smile and thumbs up.